Hi, this is Sean. Welcome to Module 2 in our course on Learning Analytics here at the University of Missouri. I'm excited about this module because we're starting to talk about actual indicators of learning or learning analytics in an online environment. And in this module, we're going to look at what are called implicit indicators of learning. In other words, we're not going to be looking at what people actually learn specifically. We're not going to be using technology to measure learning in the forms of quizzes or text analysis. We'll begin to explore those concepts in the next module, which is focused on explicit indicators of learning in a technology-mediated environment. When we talk about implicit measures, it really means that we're not looking specifically at the thing that we are interested in. So, for example, if you're riding a bicycle down the street, you can feel the wind in your face. And that's an explicit indicator of wind resistance because you can feel it. But to a person on the third floor of a building that's looking outside, they don't have that explicit indication that there's a strong wind. Let's assume that they don't have a sieve-like house and it's not blowing through that house as well. What they can do is they can look at your posture in the street as you lean into the wind and perhaps flags in surrounding areas and start to get some indicators that it's windy outside that aren't explicit measures of the wind itself. And that's one example of what we mean by an implicit indicator. Now, when we start to talk about implicit indicators of learning or in a learning analytics context, one really great place to look for these kinds of indicators is in the ways that people behave in a technology-mediated environment. And we started to explore electronic trace data and making sense of it in the last module. In this module, we're going to get a lot more specific about the concept of social network analysis and social capital. And so there's a set of readings that ask you to understand or begin to understand those concepts that are sort of looked at very concretely in the first module, a bit more abstractly in the second module, and then come up with a set of candidate indicators that might be derived from social network information that's available from online systems. And then in the later part of the module, you're going to read a little bit more and explore some of the learning analytics websites that are out there, and then use that information combined with the readings to start to develop a story or an explanation of how you might build a specific implicit indicator of learning from human behavior in the environment that we're taking this class in. So I look forward to your questions. Please post them online. If there's anything ambiguous or confusing about the module, many of you have been good about sort of pointing out anything I missed or that's ambiguous in the last module, so I appreciate that. Keep it coming. I look forward to the completion of Module 1, which I'm starting to look at the last part of it tonight, and I'll be looking at those people posting frantically this evening, of course, in the morning, and I will see you online.